Today we're going to be using Anti Venom again. If you haven't seen my previous video, we were using a zoo style deck in that one with Anti Venom, so please make sure to go and check that out first. But for this video I'm going to show you a different deck that we can use him in. But before we get into that, as per usual, I'm just going to remind you to leave a like and subscribe. It would very much be appreciated and super helpful. So the deck that we're using with Anti Venom today is pretty much just a full ongoing deck. Firstly, we have Howard the Duck, which with both Anti Venom and Iron Lad, it does mean that you can see the top card of your deck and what you're going to be pulling next, therefore kind of being able to predict and control exactly what your Iron Lad or your Anti Venom hits, which is quite useful. Much of the other cards are obviously very self-explanatory. We do have Luke Cage, so whatever card you hit with your Anti Venom you can restore the power of as long as Luke Cage is in play. Mobius, you're able to, if the opponent has an Anti Venom, then it stops that card from being a 0 cost card. It will return it back to its original cost, as long as Mobius is in play. And then we have the sort of three big hitters at this end of the deck, which comes in the form of Iron Man, Claw and Spectrum. So if any of these are the targets of Anti Venom, then that is pretty much an ideal situation for us. And again, as I was sort of saying in the last video, it's useful when Anti Venom can hit ongoing cards, because the purpose of these cards isn't necessarily just for their sort of raw power. It's more about the effect that they're able to provide other cards. So therefore, it being justified to take a hit in the power because they're a free sort of useful card. Saying that, as you will probably be able to tell from a lot of my gameplay, there weren't many situations where we had to or could use Anti Venom and the deck itself still worked. So even without Anti Venom in here, it's still a very functional deck that I would recommend using. But I'm going to show you how we played it, and yeah, let's get into some gameplay. Moon Knight, probably not going to use Moon Knight, but we do have the Anti Venom. Might as well get the Lizard out, especially in the middle there, where it can still gain a little bit of power, even if they do manage to fill up their side of the board. Saying that, it's going to be moved across anyway. I'll get Cosmo out. I feel like that's always a useful card to have out, even though I don't know what sort of a deck they're going to be running at the moment. Well, they haven't been able to pick up a card or provide us with a card, so that's something, isn't it? Anti Venom is the next natural step for us. It could hit Spectrum, it could hit Luke Cage, it could hit Captain America, Armor or Howard the Duck, with the latter two not being ideal. But I would say if we did pick up the Captain America, Luke Cage or Spectrum, then that is okay. They've gone for the Anti Venom as well. Howard the Duck. Of course. That might be somewhat overkill. I'm going to do it anyway. I'm also going to get the Howard the Duck out because we do have Iron Lad in hand that we could potentially hit a Spectrum off of. Oh, what's going on there? It would hit the Spectrum. If I were to do that, we can't play anything else. Otherwise, it's still not great, is it? I think I'm just going to Iron Lad. Or am I? Or do I Claw in the middle? Yeah, I think I do. Oh goodness, what's this going to be? Black Panther? Hazmat? This is a Luke Cage. Ah, of course they... keep going. Blimey. We still somehow managed to win that.
Victory.
That is quite the play considering they didn't put out a Luke Cage. Feast as the location on the left, but it's not like we can necessarily play anything over there anyway. Saying that, we do now have Howard the Duck as well.
Avengers!
With Iron Lad in hand, that is not bad for us. They've magics, but at least we've picked up a bit of energy before they did that. Right, so Howard the Duck is going to hit a claw. Would I? Yeah, I think I'd still rather get the claw out than playing the Spectrum now, to be honest. It seems like a waste when we don't have that many ongoing cards that are even out.
Behold my mighty hand.
Ooh, the Onslaught in the middle. We'll pick up the Lizard next. I know I'm kind of blocking myself up over here, but this gives Captain America full buff. We can play Spectrum maybe out on the next turn. Gives middle a lot of power too. In reality, we're probably going to get beaten by Iron Man, Mystique, and like Living Tribunal, so... Or is it going to be a Wong and then maybe like a Silver Surfer, maybe? Luke Cage... Maybe now is the time for Spectrum. Just because I'd rather play the 5 cost rather than the 2/1 cost.
Knowledge is power.
Oh goodness. Lots of discounts for them. And there is no stopping us from putting all of these cards out, to be honest. I'm not sure how this works. Maybe Armor and Lizard will get +2 power. I guess we'll find out. I don't know if that works that way, but if it does, that would be very nice. I wouldn't mind that at all. It's not how it works, but that's okay. Okay, and they are going for the Silver Surfer. No Wong though. We have Anti Venom. Would have hit the Iron Man, but doesn't really do much else for us. And I guess I'll put it down in the middle. It's unfortunate that we didn't pick up the Anti Venom sooner, to be honest, but beggars can't be choosers. Just into the Absorbing Man. That's okay. Was Gambit gonna hit? That's okay, we still managed to win it. We only lost by a point on that left-hand side, so...
Victory!
Bit of a weird deck from them. I think they must have gotten unlucky with their draws, considering they managed to get the Onslaught out really early. Already have Howard the Duck and Anti Venom in hand, which is very nice. Pretty much an ideal situation for us to begin with, at least. Hotel Inferno, we can't play any cards into it anyway. Hopefully it doesn't hit Iron Man. Oh, well, they're not going to play anything there anyway, so it doesn't actually matter. We have Wakanda as well. Put Mobius down in case they're going for an Anti Venom deck as well. We also do have a Cosmo, which would be helpful at some point. However, for the moment, I'm just gonna probably leave it, I would say. Put some extra power on the right hand side because the Bishop's probably going to grow quite a bit. I didn't even check who my Howard the Duck was hitting, so that's fun. Kind of a bit pointless, wasn't it? It hit armor. Yeah, okay. Don't have to use it straight away. I think I'm going to get the Iron Lad out for the moment. Hopefully it hits Iron Man. Perfect.
Iron Man.
Don't really need to bother with that right hand side now, I would say. Oh yeah, okay. They did not want to even bother, did they? Now, Howard the Duck is exactly what we like to see. I'm going to keep it out of that left hand side as well, just to so we can use it for the 3 and 4 cost cards if we need to. They've gone for a Nico. Could be a destroy deck. It's typically what you see Nico in nowadays. Well, let's see if we have a rock next. We do indeed. That is just my luck. They've given the Rock some power. Dwayne the Rock Johnson. Let's see what this is. A Destroyer. I mean, we have another Rock on the way as well. That's great, isn't it? I mean, realistically, if we do pick up the armor at some point, that is quite nice for us. I'm also thinking that, I don't know, they might try and misery that. If so, we'll get the Cosmo down. We'll kind of lock them in on that left-hand side.
Gotta run, hun.
What is going on here? Right, we do have the armor, so the Destroyer play might actually be on. Do I just hit the armor now with Iron Lad? But I can't do it on the left. So no, I'm not going to. I'll get Captain America out. Obviously armor will get out for quite cheap as well.
Avengers!
Assemble.
And then I'm thinking we destroy the middle just on the next turn. Is there any point in me putting a rock there? I mean, otherwise it's just going to be a spot left open. There is no point. It's not necessary. I'm just doing it anyway, and you can't stop me. So yeah, have that. And then yeah, I'll destroy the middle. Silver Sable's hitting the Luke Cage. Beast is picking up all of those cards anyway. And completely locking themselves in on that left-hand side. So that left is definitely ours for the win. I guess I don't necessarily need to put Howard the Duck down in the Destroyer down in the middle with Howard the Duck. It's kind of a 50-50 in terms of what I think is going to be best. I'm actually going to sacrifice Howard the Duck. It's been an honour to work with you, but your time's come. I'm getting a little bit emotional. Oh goodness. Okay, as long as it's not 5 on the right. It's 4. Oh my goodness. Well, it was definitely the right play to put Destroy on the right at least. It wasn't the game plan by any means, but it definitely worked out. Oscorp Tower. not putting anything over on that left hand side. And we're also not putting the armour in the middle either, so naturally it's over on the right. I could give them the lizard, but it's not as good as just putting out like either Luke Cage or Captain America, to be honest, so I'll stick with that. Yeah, Captain America still for the moment. I'd like to be able to pick up an Anti Venom, that would be quite nice, wouldn't it? If we could play that on the next turn, get a free big card, and then maybe play the Iron Man on the last turn, or a Spectrum. That would be ideal for us. A Claw. Is that good enough? I'll stick the Iron Man down in the middle with the prospect of putting Spectrum down in the middle as well.
Iron Man.
I see. Oh, and now we pick up the Anti Venom, of course we do. I mean, that's going to give a lot of power to that right hand side. It's kind of the only chance we have of winning the middle as well. I'd fancy my chances more than trying to challenge for the left just with the one card. Yeah, it's not the most confident I've ever been about a game, to be honest. Just got unlucky with the draws as well, not getting Howard the Duck, Iron Lad, or the Anti Venom until the last turn. Okay, what's this going to turn into? Kiln, that's fine. Yes, I didn't challenge for the middle at all, which is nice for us. Okay, well, yeah, okay, we've won.
Knowledge is power.
Cool.
Victory.
Nothing we can use for the moment, but having Lizard and Cosmo is not too bad for the sort of start of the game, as long as we can pick up the Anti Venom by the 4th turn. Or even if we pick up Howard the Duck in that time. It's annoying that we've already drawn the Iron Man, to be honest with you, because that is one of those cards that you always hope to be able to just get a free 0/0. And they've gone for a Nebula. So I'm somewhat apprehensive to put Lizard in the middle, because it's likely going to be a location I'll fill up. We have also got the Luke Cage as well, which is nice for us. And then also, if we do pick up Mobius prior to turn 5 for Dream Dimension, then that gives us a bit of an advantage on that turn. Either way, they're really thinking about what they want to do, aren't they? Didn't even do anything, they just ended the turn there, cool. Right, what else we got? Avengers Compound for turn 5 as well, so a lot that's going to be happening on turn 5. I'll get the Cosmo down in the middle for the moment. Interesting. Not sure where this is going for the moment, to be honest. It is somewhat annoying that maybe I'll play the Iron Lad on the right hand side. It's fine. We can afford to let that Nebula build up a little bit, but not too much more. Howard the Duck, that's good. So we'll be able to see now that we're picking up Howard the Duck. Captain America after this. not much more we can do apart from that, to be honest, is there? I always prefer to get the Luke Cage down rather than the armour anyway. Nebula's getting a little bit out of hand now. Super Scroll. So theoretically, if I were to just fill up this location on the right hand side, then they'll take a bit of a hit, which is nice for us. However, I need to make sure that it's actually worthwhile doing that and not completely messing ourselves up. Oh, I just realised the Luke Cage. I'm an idiot.
Avengers!
Assemble.
We still end up winning somehow.
Victory!
I completely overlooked the fact that Super Skrull picked up on the Luke Cage. Hence why it didn't go down in power even after picking up Lizard. I don't know why I just stopped at thinking about Lizard and Cosmo. But somehow we still managed to squeeze out the win. They moved over the Gilgamesh as well, which was very nice of them, but... I mean, Titan is nice as long as we can pick up the Spectrum. Apart from that, it's not really an amazing location for us. It might be quite nice for them, considering they've got a... most likely a Null and an Arnhem Zola. Howard the Duck is good for Iron Lad and for Anti Venom. We don't pick up either of them for the moment, but we do get the Iron Lad on the next turn. Might as well get the Cosmo out. Oh yeah, of course they're going to just destroy our Iron Lads, that's cool. We're not winning. However, putting down an armour might disrupt them on this left hand side a little bit. They could just X23 and Carnage. Which... actually, well, I mean, considering they can't play anything in this middle lane, they won't be able to play anything in the right, then they also can't play anything in the left because we've completely blocked it off.
We are Venom.
I think they've kind of messed up a little bit by doing that, because we can also claw into the middle now. Howard the Duck, Luke Cage, Anti Venom still nowhere to be seen. So yeah, I think getting the claw out is probably the best thing that we can do.
Opponent snapped.
I mean, they're very confident, aren't they? I'm just trying to think of what they'd actually have. Are they going to have a death? They've only destroyed one thing, I think. Is it just as simple as Iron Manning this left-hand side? Maybe. I mean, technically Spectrum does quite a bit as well. Actually, probably does more than the Iron Man. So that's what I'm going to do.
Knowledge is power.
Interesting. Was that a bot, maybe?
Victory!
Because I'm not sure where they would snap on turn 6 and then try and play Bucky and Shang-Chi in an armour. Howard the Duck is back. Good stuff, as long as we pick up the Iron Lad or the Anti Venom. I feel like I've been saying that out that all evening. And it's usually just Howard the Duck on his lonesome, to be honest. Central Park is... I mean, it's just a bit annoying, to be honest. Yeah, well, we will pick up the Iron Lad on the next turn, which is good. Green Goblin, not good. Yeah, we'll get Captain America out. Oh my goodness, I don't like
Avengers!
this deck at all. Right, Howard the Duck. This is for a Cosmo, which is an ongoing that we could try and just get out early on this right hand side and build up as much power as possible. I think that's not a bad idea. Oh, misery. Cool, thank you. It's actually going to be quite hard for them to beat that right hand side, I think. And oh, I think it'd be a shame not to use the claw, but it does add an unnecessary amount of power to the right hand side. Spectrum, please. Oh, of course not. So we can't play Spectrum. We pick up Cosmo, which technically can give us a little bit of power on this left hand side. Whether it'll be enough, because we'll only be beating them by 2 anyway, I'm not so sure. Yeah, not too confident about this one, to be honest. Oh, neither were they.
Victory.
They just must not have picked anything up, which I'm not complaining about.